Who's got a big wang? I got a big wang. Here's what we got. We are going with full APR Aero. All right, and this I think is the Aero kit, which is like the side skirt, front lip, canards, and rear splat. And then this is the big wang. So let's get it unboxed and get started. All right, bumper is off. Time to get the lip on. There's a bumper. This is a little lip. This is like an aerodynamic lip underneath the car. You can tell it's aerodynamic because it's got these little aero guides on them. So unfortunately got mangled and sliced in half when the first time my car got towed. So that won't be on the car now. Anyways, let's get the lip on. Okay, so I've kind of placed the APR lip where it's going to mount on the bumper. And I put some of these clips back in because it looks like you need to use tap screws to drill through the bumper. So just to make sure it's all lining up correctly, I put some clips back in so that way when I drill the holes it should be properly lined up. So what you actually do with these holes, it's not a tap screw, thank goodness, because there's not really a whole lot going on behind it, but it's an M8 bolt. So it's a quarter drill M8 bolt with a lock nut behind it. Tighten it down, ratchet it down, you're good to go. All right, lip is on, except the under tray needed a modification. So you need to trim a little piece. It's in the instructions. This thing sucks to take out. There's a million clips and bolts. This is a piece you need to trim out. That piece, I cut it off already using a Dremel. It's not pretty, but it doesn't matter because it's going to get covered by the lip anyways. Oh boy, this front lip was a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Okay, the under tray is on. Trimming that piece worked. Got the clips back in. Once you get the under tray on to the bumper, there's a couple of other spots you're going to need to trim, namely a hole for this M8 bolt to go through so you can get the clip back in, and another hole over here so the Phillips head screwdriver can go through it to secure the bumper back on. All right, let's get to the canards. All right, canards are on. I love canards. They make your whole build look so much more aggressive. That front lip is looking damn sexy too. Having looked at it though, I would say the front lip is more cosmetic than actual aero. Might help a little bit. The canards are probably more Aero than the front lip, but who knows? I will definitely be getting a proper splitter at some point, but in the meantime, this is going to be pretty awesome. All right, it's the next morning. That took about 4 hours to do on the ground without a lift. So just to give you guys an idea, the front lip and the canards. Canards were relatively easy if you have the bumper off. That front lip, especially with the trimming, that definitely takes some time, especially with all the clips and bolts underneath. It's a bit of a pain doing it all on your back, but you got to do what you got to do. So anyways, today we are working on the rest of the Aero kit. We should be able to wrap it up. I got these are the side skirts. Hi, Nico. These are the side skirts, and over here I've got the rear splats. And that goes kind of like right there-ish. And then the GT wing. So let's get this unwrapped and get started. All right, side skirts are unwrapped. It always blows my mind how light this stuff is. But, you know, APR makes good quality carbon fiber. I know they've had some issues with clear coat in the past. That's definitely an APR thing, but, you know, we'll see how these hold up. I had their GT wing on my FK8 as well, and that seemed to hold up fine. So hopefully these are good, but they look really good. Let's get them on the car. Okay, before we put the skirt in, there's the factory one right next to the APR. You can see the APR is way wider, much more aggressive. Ended up breaking a clip. This stupid thing would not let go. Oh well. Casualties of war. All right, let's get it put in.
Yeah.
All right, one side done. Lots of clips, lots and lots of clips, and this thing is sturdy because they give you there's about 6 or 8 of these that secure this lip onto the car. You have to drill holes, and then this hardware holds it in place. So it's sturdy. It's definitely on there. I don't think I would stand on it, but it's definitely more sturdy than the Aeroflow Dynamics side splitter that I had on my FK8. And pro tip, you're definitely going to want to remove the rear wheel because you have to get into the fender liner here. There's a couple of really stubborn clips in there that hold the OEM side skirt in place, and the only real way to get to it without breaking stuff is to get into the fender liner, and there's just not enough room with this tire on. So just get it on a jack stand, take the tire off, and then you'll have plenty of room to work with. Let's do the other side. This is taking way longer than I expected. I think because my Aeroflow Dynamic side skirts on the FK8 were just like self-tapping screws and just make holes wherever you felt like making holes. The APR stuff is very methodical. There's predetermined spots, which is good. I mean, I'm complaining because it's taking longer, but it's also good that they have the hardware set up the way they did, because it's much more sturdy, way more sturdy. So it's taking a little more time just to get everything lined up right and all the nuts and bolts screwed in properly. But it's in. It's in. The side skirt is in. Rolling down to the last little bit. It's looking really good. Now we're gonna get the rear splats in the GT wing, and we done. All right, here are the rear splats. This is a driver side rear, passenger side rear. This should not take long. If it does, I shouldn't be anywhere near a car. Let's get to it. It was quick. It was quick to put on, but not as simple as I thought it would be, because it requires the removal of, well, most of the rear diffuser, so you could feed nuts through the top where the bolt would then go through. I mean, it's crazy how reinforced this Aero is. You know, it's not a bad thing. Hey! It's definitely not a bad thing. But they're on. And they look really good. You know, this Aero definitely looks more prominent in person than it does on camera. But we'll see how it looks when it's all done. Super excited. Now, onto the GT wing. So close. So close. OEM wing is off. There it is. And I'm just in the process of putting the new GT wing on, which is still wrapped. But these brackets, the base plates, I got two right side plates. And even though one is marked right and the other one is marked left, they're definitely the same plate, because there's no way to mistake how the top one is square and the two holes on top are a little closer to each other than the one at the bottom. And there's a centering bolt that goes in here, and they can't be both angled this way. So I got two of the same bracket. These things happen. They seem to always happen to me, so it's all right. I already emailed APR. Hopefully they can get me the correct brackets out relatively quickly. In the meantime, my APR equipped FL5 type bar is going to look all goofy without a wing. So I'm not going to drive it. We're just going to wait. So catch you on the flip side. Okay, I take that back. While we are waiting, let's get these other pieces installed, which I forgot to mention. But I got the front strut tower brace and the rear tower brace. You guys might recall from a previous video on the FK8 that it is my belief that especially the front strut tower brace doesn't really do anything on these cars. I still believe the front strut tower brace doesn't really do much. I still believe it's cosmetic. But we are waiting for my coilovers to come in, if they ever come in. But they're supposed to come in. And I have remote reservoirs on those coilovers, and I need a place to mount them, hence the strut tower bars. So while we're waiting, let's go ahead and throw those on. Yeah. All right, front strut tower bar is on. I like this design. It's based off of the classic Integra Type R strut tower brace. Really like what PRL did with this. It's a good clean look, simple design, it works. Just a installation tip, make sure before you try to put these on, loosen these guys up. It's an Allen head and then a 12 millimeter on the other side. And that should make it easier to shimmy it onto the strut tower itself. So let's get to the rear. Alright, so real quick, I wanted to show you guys this because this rear strut tower bar is a pain in the booty to put in. So you basically have to take your entire trunk apart. This rear cover, it's just all clips. Then more clips. There's a Phillips head right there. Okay, you have to do cutouts, which I absolutely butchered. You know, it's not the prettiest, but it's fine. And then you gotta at least loosen this airbag cover. There's a 10 millimeter in here, and then you need a 12 millimeter for the it's the bracket. It attaches to the bracket for the back of the seat when it flips down. The seat when it clips back into place, that's a bracket you need to remove to put the rear strut tower brace on. So this is like kind of halfway put together, just to kind of show you guys what it takes. I'll button it up and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, we're back. New mounts came in the mail. Thank you, APR, for getting this out to me relatively quickly. Now, let's finish this wing. Alright, got the wing elements unwrapped. This thing is massive. Holy moly. Kind of hard to see it in the dark, but it is big. That's bigger than I remember it being on the FK8. Alright, let's get it on. The car looks amazing. It turned out so good. I am so excited for this APR body kit. So big shout out to APR. Thank you for supporting the build. I believe this is the first full APR FL5 body kit in Northern California. I know there's the test car and the product development car in Southern California that has a full kit. I'm sure there's a few other ones floating out there, but either way, I think it turned out amazing. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. I can't wait to see what this feels like on track. Hopefully it's coming sooner than later, but that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay hungry, stay fast, stay tuned. I'm Michael Baxter.
Okay, I've been working like 3 jobs. Probably why I never see ya. Probably why I never have time for the fake friends I won't be ya. Oh God, I've been running now. Up early when the sun is out. Not setting out my own soul, but those real ones, they coming out. Oh, look who's reaching out. Old friends wanna feature now. They don't work, so they need it free. Ooh, you reaching out from the west side of that